match of the evening. I'm your host and caster, Waffles for Sid, and joining me today is the fiery Tropic Theory. We have got an exciting match for you tonight. We are going to see Storybook villains face off against Monarchy. And now, Tropic, we know a little bit about these teams and what's been going on this season. So, why don't you tell us kind of what's on the line and what you're excited to see this evening?
Storybook Villains has been a name to be reckoned with for the duration of season 3.9 of Owlet. They have been countless on power rankings as number one, number two seed for those guests on the nest. And so this is going to be a make or break match for both of them. Currently, right now in standings, they are number two seed with Council of Anime Girls at that number one, but only held back by one winning game. Currently, Council of Anime Girls have 5, Storybook Villains have 4. So if they are able to win this match against Monarchy, they will be tied for that number one ranking and continue to prove to everybody that they are a contending team to be reckoned with. On the flip side, Monarchy, we a little bit of a rocky start with having some forfeit wins and not seeing a whole lot from them. But as they have progressed and made their debut within the past couple weeks, they are also a team to be reckoned with. Recently, they went 3-0 against Everfrost, really bringing their rank up to number 5 in our scoreboard so far. It is still midweek though, midway in the season. We have at least a couple of weeks left until playoffs, so it's going to be really exciting to see how the game goes tonight, to see if potentially if Monarch will be raising the ranks or if Storybook Villains will keep that contending team at that number one seed.
Yeah, well, they have definitely been a huge presence there towards the top of the, power rankings that people have been saying, and we've seen them perform at that level as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see Monarchy here potentially give an upset
Mm-hmm.
and throw everyone off their game. And well, I think that if Monarchy can manage to take down Storybook Villains this evening, a lot of eyes are going to be on them. And
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think their radar is going to be, Council of Anime Girls' radar is going to be tripped off by
Mm-hmm.
them, and, a crazy powerhouse performance if they can pull this off. So I'm rooting for the underdog personally. I love to see him see him win.
100%. And I am curious, as we take our first map on Nepal for both teams. Nepal is such a diverse map, Sid.
Mhm.
Especially Sanctum could be a little bit more divey, a little bit more versatile, but Village is very much brawly. I wouldn't be surprised if especially if some teams lean towards that brawly comp, if we will
Yeah.
see some brawliness coming in for that. I know that you've actually casted Storybook Villains before. So are you looking forward to seeing this team again? And just what are you excited for it specifically, since you got lucky to cast them?
Totally. Well, actually, they were my first Owlet cast ever. So, came off fresh there. Didn't really know anything about them going in with no expectations. We talked about this when we were on the nest, and they did not have a very strong start.
Mhm.
They almost lost that first set and managed to come back against SpongeBob Mac and Cheese and win it in the end. But definitely slow there. A lot of teams are capitalizing on that slow
Mhm.
start. And, we've heard they kind of have a lackadaisical approach here to some of these matches in the beginning. And I think that's probably been their biggest downfall. They haven't been losing. So obviously they are clutching it out and
100%.
pulling it together when it really counts. But I would love to see either a crushing start or I want to see a strong first period, to be honest. That's what I love.
100%. I want to see them at their full potential. We've already heard they are used to scrimming 3.9 plus. So I want to see full force storybook villains. But on the flip side, I love a good underdog sort of team. And so I also hope that Monarchy really proves and shows themselves that we're 5, but we are a contending team to be reckoned with. So this could also be a story where Monarchy really proves themselves that they put their foot down mid season, that they also are a team to be reckoned with. So that'll be very exciting if we do see that tale come true.
Absolutely. And, I would also like to call out that we are actually welcoming back Brutal One for, another
Oh.
season of Owlet. He is part of the Storybook Villains team. We'll see him playing the DPS role. But his first Overwatch tournament was actually Owlet Season 1. So quite a veteran here around the Owlet scene and, breaking that shell for his first time with Owlet. So always good to see, people bring it back to their roots, and it just goes to show you Owlet here is great to be in and working with. And, this community is really awesome as well. They have been fantastic to bring us along. Shout out to our producer, Joey. And, it's really great to see, everyone still being around here and bringing their friends and teammates in it.
Yeah, 100%. And even in the same sense that with these teams, as we've seen and casted and seen each team grow, from those that were labeled as underdogs, for instance, like Blue's Clues Bandits, we weren't really sure what was going on, but they are now a top ranking team. Yeah. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. Initial forfeits, though, so hard to judge.
So true.
Yeah. And thankfully, Misfit had a bit of background knowledge on them, and some of definitely was able to adjust his power rankings much better. A little disadvantage for us.
And we're definitely excited to see this next fight, this first fight, on Nepal, Sid. Like we talked about briefly before, lots of different compositions that can come up. I know we each have our favorites, though. So what are you looking for coming on this first map?
Well, it looks like here we are going to be at this is the Shrine of Nepal, if I recall correctly. And, well, there's a little bit of open area, enough where an echo could easily be a threat, especially once you've established yourself on the point and you're flittering across from a little bit of that high ground area as well. But it's close. It's control. We could see some brawl coming through as well.
That's so true. And it does look like on the Storybook side, we are looking like a little bit more brawl, whereas on the flip side of Monarchy, we're looking more on that double bubble. I am curious how that will work out. Double bubble does have a little bit more flexibility with movement to be able to dive and target from above as well. So we'll see how Storybook Villains handles that from Snormrick and Dark.
Yeah. And right now both are coming out of the gate, just engaging here a little bit, trying to poke at each other and bait out abilities. The dive coming in from Toxico, I think he just jumped on top of Anna's head, actually. Yeah! And Brutal One does draw first blood onto Casey Bill to kick off the match here. Right now, Storybook Villains does have the top control area and is tapping as we speak, but 2 more kills coming in favor of them. That's going to be a reset for Monarchy.
Yeah, what great capitalization coming in from the tank line of Storybook Villains, really collapsing on picking those players that are maybe a little bit out of position and just getting that first blood. We always, especially on these control maps, we really want to engage with that first blood, and typically that's what is a deciding factor of who capitalizes first. We still are really early on this fight, 18% for Storybook, but we really got to see some ult builds coming in favor of Monarchy to start this ult fight.
Gets a little pressure on the back line and manages to chase her off. Brutal One's kill onto the opposing DPS, though, is going to be tough for Monarchy to push into as well, but Tokyo doesn't care. He is continuing to push this front line. And the pulse bomb with a stick. Beautiful there, opening from Storybook Villains as they continue to get kills in their favor. Brutal One pushing this Zarya, who is supercharged. Unfortunately, she doesn't have what she needs to take him down.
Yeah, I am a little surprised that Echo Force did decide to utilize that Nano. Typically, you want to save that for the Nano Blade, but that capitalization was great coming in. Dark, you said, already got that first blood coming in. This could be a really opening big pick for Monarchy to make their space on the point.
Yeah, they are engaged, as we can see. Leapfrog trying to heal people from the backline as well. Fight still breaking out, and the grab is thrown. Brutal One pops the Death Blossom in front of the grab with the blade as well to continue cleaning up any remainder kills. Storybook Villains cleaning up Monarchy here on this top of the point.
Yeah, definitely. We are approaching 83 and counting, or 85 and counting for this, and we have to see some big ults coming in favor of Monarchy. I'm hoping to see a dupe coming in. Maybe potentially on the Rhine, get a big shatter, and space creation for the team. Here we go. Overtime is approaching as we come into this last fight, Sid.
And Stormgig has to pop that primal there, and the grab comes through from Casey as well, finding a couple people. Kill is found from Dark, from the grab as well. Dark has that dupe pop, drops the shatter, putting Zarya on the ground, and the kills are there to follow up. It looks like Monarchy is flipping this point in their favor.
What a great ult coming in from Dark. Exactly what I wanted to see. Utilizing that dupe on the Navine to really create space for the team. Stormgig also, Stormgig, excuse me, utilizing that Primal Rage as just a build for that. Fortunately, we are lacking on fights, or on ults on the Monarchy side, but Blade is coming up ready and fast. So we will see Cage really needs to be able to utilize that beat to save the team and keep this match alive.
Drawn onto Brutal One this time around, so that is going to make it really tough for Storybook Villains to continue pushing in. That Reaper has been doing a lot of work. Tokyo also on the Reaper themselves, looking for that high ground and maybe going to sneak around and put some damage into the backline as we speak. Right now, Cobalt holding the front line. Oh! Stormgig goes down here, that is rough. And what a boot from the Reinhardt. Holy smokes, doesn't find a pin, but puts a lot of people displaced. Kirby Bro pops that blade to follow up, and the kills from the DPS of Storybook Villains are successful. Echo Boy still bloodthirsty at the end.
What a great target focus coming in favor of Kirby Bro. Going straight for Cage, not even allowing him to potentially get that beat to save the team. Just great target focus overall. We definitely saw some really great plays coming in from Dark as well. Only first map, folks. I'm excited to see a little bit more coordinated plays coming in from the Monarchy side. They've already proven that they are able to make these plays, and just a little bit more coordination. I'm definitely seeing that. I definitely would expect that we are gonna get some really good matchups tonight. Maybe even like going into a 5th map. Who knows? But as we come in to Village, Sid, I'm expecting a lot more brawls, and it does look like we are seeing on the screen right now. So we will see how the difference in DPS help each team out and who will dominate that.
As they start to engage here on the high ground area. First blood is drawn by Dark onto Cobalt. That was a tongue tie right there. And Monarchy kills coming in favor of Monarchy.
Oh man, what a great opening there. Honestly, I think the Doomfist is a great utilization to dive in, make chaos in the back of the point, and just unfortunately make the support's life a little hard to be able to, do what they need to do. But fights are already breaking out as we come here, and a charge coming straight away.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely nasty, but nothing comes out of it, which is extremely surprising. Amp Matrix is thrown for Monarchy, and there's the kill from Tokyo, but Cobalt does answer in kind and kills from both teams. Tokyo still doing the work for Monarchy though. Casey is demech, not too much he can put in with the Bunny Blaster, but actually I am proven wrong as he takes down Cobalt very quickly after that. Storybook Villains flipping the point.
I always love a little diva coming in with a pistol. Very similar to a Battle Mercy, which is my favorite. But here we are. We're coming in with 28% in favor of Monarchy and 8% in counting for Storybook Villains. We have some ults coming online in favor of Monarchy. But on the flip side, the Wisp. We have to see a big save for that beat for whatever Monarchy is about to bring out as we start this brawl.
Wow, what a nail-biting high noon for Tokyo at 4 health. That shatter from Cobalt was absolutely nasty there onto Monarchy, but the return shatter is just as bad. But Kirby is there to follow up on Storybook Villains' push there and still flip the point in their favor.
Wow, what a great utilization of Stormgig to be able to bait that Immort out. Team is saved, Cobalt. Bait that Immort out, and then following up right after with Kirby and that Blade. Free Blade, no Immort, Cage is dead. Just great plays overall there.
kill onto Kirby Bro from Stormgig. That is going to be a great advantage for Monarchy as they continue to push the point. There is Dark as the Doomfist looking for that kill. Doesn't quite find it. He does fall below, but is going to be okay. Casey getting the push forward, and Monarchy getting the flip here on the middle.
Yeah, definitely. And Monarchy is the one that is in favor of some ults coming up. Echo Force does have that Bat Bulb, which also can be a really great space building ult to push in. So to really be able to capitalize on this and make space, maybe they will utilize that ult coming up. Or if Cobalt does increase that Shatter in enough time, that could be the opening fight for them. But Casket, Casey, oh, there it is. Bomb coming out. As soon as I was going to talk about it, nobody gets it. Gets the Inmort. Bomb coming back inside and with kills coming in favor of Monarchy. Seems like they're about to clean up this fight here with from Storybook Villain, and it will be another reset coming into this fight. But great news is, in favor of Storybook Villains, that they have some great ults coming up. On the flip side, Cage and Leapfrog, they really have to utilize the immortality coming in from Leapfrog, or Cage really needs to build that ult to be able to really save the team for these incoming ults that Storybook Villains have built up.
You can see Storybook Villains engaging here around the edge. The Immortality Field is popped, and so is the Amp Matrix for them as well. Tokyo does take it down, and the Shatter comes through. Not much is yielding from it, and Cobalt drops his own Shatter, finding a kill after that. Unfortunately, he goes down to Stormkick, but I don't know who's going to win. It could be anybody's fight here as kills are coming in for both teams. Now Storybook Villains are pulling ahead a little bit in here on the point. Kageyama goes down, and it is going to be a flip for Storybook Villains.
Wow, what a big play coming in from Kirby, and the Wisp has that be online to be able to save the team from Dark's ultimate coming up this next round. To be able to capitalize on this, we got to see a big window or a big ult coming in from Dark to be able to take this point back from Storybook Villains. And also, I'm hoping to see that they bait out the Wisps beat to be able to capitalize on the point. Here it is, Brawl's coming breaking out.
Dark charge, probably smart, but right now the Amp Matrix is popped for Monarch. Get caught by anything too aggressive there. Brutal One takes down Tokyo in the McCree duel there, and Storybook Villains is up by 1. Dark looking to get that Meteor Strike kill, and does manage to take down the Immort Field, but goes down himself. Stormgig swinging away. There's the Shatter, finds a couple, but they're not enough to quite follow up. Finds one, but the ball from Casey is absolutely massive there. Could turn the tide in favor of Monarchy. High Noon, not today. Instantly shut down Brutal One's High Noon. That Genji Blade Bill is going to be tough. And right now the Wisp is doing everything they can to continue staying on the point here. That Doomfist is looking there, bloodthirsty, Tokyo takes down the Wisp actually. And right now both teams just duking it out, trying to continue trickling in and retaining any kind of presence on the point. It is absolutely chaos here in this control map, folks, and well, both teams trying to just find any advantage and completely clear each other out from this area to finish capping or to flip it, depending on who can win. Right now, Storybook Villains are looking good, 97%, or yeah, 93%, sorry, little fuzzy here on my end. Are they going to be able to touch here and contest? Okay, yes. So there is a contest here breaking out. Looks like they were able to sneak a touch on, but Tokyo goes down very quickly after that. There is the Hammond coming through to spin it and win it. Well, I guess you can't do that much here, but at least swing through a little bit left and right. What a boop, displacing a lot of people, but it is not going to be enough. Cobalt is back with the support he needs and swinging away. Storybook Villains are getting lots of kills now in their favor as OT is trickled down. Ooh, Tropic, that was quite a many long breaths at the end of that fight, but what
Take a breath, girl.
For both of them.
I know, right? But I was about to just talk about Kirby as we were seeing his play of the game here. Kirby, he was consistently getting blades as they needed to come throughout the whole fight. Coming in clutch at the end there. Trickling fight, stall tactics coming in really nicely for both teams, but in the end, it was Kirby's blade that just cleaned up the fight, allowed Storybook Villains to capitalize on enough deaths that they won, honestly. Casey's bomb was huge. I I honestly thought that that was going to be what made it, but we have to talk about Echo as well. Echo was coming in clutch with the Baptiste. Baptiste out for blood, really taking advantage of their window and just playing it so well. I'm a big fan of, those supports coming in clutch. We all joke about how Baptiste is the DPS of the supports kind of right now.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
definitely saw that illustrated with Echo Force with that last fight. But Kirby bro, profile picture is the Genji. Definitely know that he is a great Genji to be reckoned with right now. And it is really going to be moving forward. I'm hoping that Leapfrog and Cage Yama really know that. Those tanks really peel for them in the back line, and they're just going to have to really build those alts, be really thoughtful and methodical about immortality, because they know that that blade is coming. He also builds it very, very quickly. So they have to have those important defensive alts or abilities on in correspondence with Kirby's blade, as he gets them so quickly as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really good to see. I thought the tank lineup did really well personally. A lot of shatters came through, and a lot when you see these Reinhardts playing, sometimes the shatters are not necessarily completely blocked, or was it even possible to completely block? These Reinhardts are looking for that slim angle, and they know they don't necessarily need to have that, huge highlight play of a 6-man shatter. Just shattering the couple people on the edge and putting them on the ground for you to pin is a lot of times really effective, and effective enough to give your team the advantage they're looking for to win the fight.
100%.
And I think we saw a lot of smart plays that weren't necessarily as flashy, but this is a team sport where you try to create the advantage and then pounce on that and thus win the fight from it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's all about each member of the team enabling the other to make those plays that ultimately, they might be small plays, but in the end, with them all combined, it is the win for the map usually.
And it's those small things that really set apart the top tier teams from
100%.
Some of the more casual or lower teams. They have that polish, they have that awareness of efficiency, and is this peak really bringing value, or is it just endangering me? Right. And so it's good to see more polished play like that.
100%. And I am even more excited. We are heading to Rialto, Sid. We've seen in the past on Rialto lots of sniper maps, so I'm a little curious if we will see that sniper battle out of the two. And who are, who will be winning those duels as we get that.
I mean, it's a big role to step up to as the sniper. You're going to have a lot of eyes on you in general from both teams, and from the audience perspective. Sniper battles are nice and flashy. I've said it before, offense buys tickets, but defense wins games. And that is the sad truth in things with Overwatch as well. Those DPS, they sell some tickets, but it's really going to be about the tanks making the space that can allow for that type of gameplay, especially. I don't want to call it careless. I'm going to call it carefree gameplay. Whereas a DPS, you're like, oh, thank you for taking all them out, tanks. Shoot the bullets willingly.
Exactly. And, we're coming on defense with Storybook here. Or excuse me, on offense with Storybook. They've always, kind of juked us in the end. But I'm a little curious if this Torb, if they're going to continue on the Torb. My big curiosity is of how they're going to protect the team without an immortality build, with Kirby still on the Genji. So we will see how they protect the team from that knowledge that is coming and going to be built fast.
Question. We'll have to see what type of response they can put to Kirby's blade that he has been just popping off on these past couple rounds. Right now, nothing too crazy happening as the cart is getting pushed forward. Oh, but okay, just a little Torb turret taken out. Nothing, no first blood. Well, no real first blood yet. I don't know if turret counts as first blood. That doesn't bleed, so no. Self-answered there. Right now the tanks are engaging here. As you can see, a little bit of battle and poke damage coming from the high ground. Monarchy not wanting to give up this corner position to Storybook Villains easily, as this is one of the crucial engagement areas. Right now, you can see Torb here trying to peek around, stay alive, but the Wisp does manage to take down Casey, and the kills are now coming in favor of Storybook Villains.
You know, this is a really great combination that Storybook's Villains has. The turret really helps with breaking down those shields that Winston has from Stormgang, just allowing them to just continue forward. Here it is, Cobalt holding the spawn room doors to allow to cap. Wow, what great aggression. That's all you want from a Reinhardt, definitely.
Absolutely. You know, press the dubs for dubs if you are playing Ryan or a tank for a lot of times. But Stormgang does manage to take down Kirby Bro, but Cobalt answers in kind with a nasty fire strike and a pin to follow up. Storybook Villains getting more kills in their favor. They're going to be able to continue pushing the cart regardless of that initial loss.
You know, we have that friend who plays main tank, Sid, and I'm sure that he would be very proud of Cobalt pressing the W, playing Ryan correctly, and just, it's very exciting. We all love an aggressive Reinhardt. But on the flip side, we have a Nanoblade coming. No defensive ult coming online, so I'm a little... Oh, here it is! Ults are starting right now, and Blade is out and about! Kirby is doing damage. Zarya is high and about, and we have Casey. Casey does get the grab, kills Kirby. Is this going to be enough to hold this fight? It does look like they are pushing Storybook Villains back for a little bit of a soft reset, so props to Casey for that awesome grab to really hold off Kirby's blade, Sid.
Yeah.
But we do have Cage on the Echo, on the, oh, here it is! Fight is already coming out! What a soft reset coming in, Sid.
Yeah, quick reset there. Really nice regroup for them. Cobalt now getting aggressive, pressing that W once again, clearing massive amounts of space for Storybook Villains. Another good cleanup.
Another good cleanup. Storybook Villains is doing a great job at knowing when to do a little bit of a soft reset and when to push in. Props to the team for that, as we are waltzing in with a 5-minute team. Oh my goodness, Molten Core coming out as well, as they are just in the spawn advantage, taking this on. Dark does punish Cobalt, but Torb, Brutal One is, we gotta say, he is looking for that hammer kill. It is a question of who he's gonna get that hammer kill on. Flip side, Dark has that, Dark and Stormrig have ults coming online, and we have to see big plays and coordinated plays and clean plays coming out of Monarchy to push and stop this waltz that Storybook Villains is coming up as they are approaching third point, Sid.
Absolutely waltzing the payload up this front alleyway here. The dupe does come through from Dark onto the Zarya. Hopefully he can build his grab fast enough and keep his get that bubble management. Wow. Anyways, right now you can see him still continuing to push back Monarchy here, and oh, the grab is thrown as well.
Ooh.
And cleanup comes in favor of Monarchy. I had those backwards. Storybook Villains were being pushed back.
What a clutch grab coming in from Dark. Great grab in the end there. Clutch to be able to follow up on it, and that is exactly what Monarchy really needed right now. That grab also allowed for the team to build those ults, and we have a Nanoblade coming on the flip side of Monarchy here. Is going to be a battle of the Nanoblades, as here, no! Storybook comes in first, Sid!
You know, he gets stunned pretty quickly, and Anti to follow up after that. Can't be as aggressive as normal, but Tokyo pops his own blade in the back. Does have to chase down the Anna a little bit, but finds her in the end. Kills still coming in for both people, but oh, the clutch bubble at the end isn't quite enough to save Casey from Cobalt. And Kageyama does manage to find Cobalt in kind. Monarchy stabilizing here at the end. It's a tough final cap for this point here because of the spawn advantage.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, if Storybook wants to cap this point with this amount of time on the clock, it's all up to the Wisp. I'm sure that they know that Casey has that ult coming online. Grab is coming, and they will be all targeted down. But Wisp, it's all up to him to be able to save the team and continue this push that they once had.
Yeah. Casey's grab right now, initiating the fight there. A few people grouped up, but it doesn't look like any kills are gonna yield from it with the follow-up. Oh, the shatter comes through on the Dark duplicate there, instantly dropping him to the ground. And well, Cobalt did not like being copied and took him out of that very quickly. Get back to your Echo state, please. Brutal One taking down the opposing Ana as well. So looking good for Storybook Villains as another kill comes in favor. They lost their main shield. It's going to be really rough trying to find any form of cover and bouncing around these pillars for them. You can see Kageyama doing his best to bounce between them and boot the team around, but Storybook Villains has the presence, has the numbers, are continuing to take down members of Monarchy one after another. This blade is nasty. We called it out earlier.
Wow.
And 2:07 on the clock, so Monarchy did a pretty good job shaving off a lot of time there for that third point, but still 2 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think that Monarchy's intention with the Brig initially was to be able, when Genji dives in, bash them, stun them, kill him. Fortunately, that was not the way it went, and the rally was not charged up in time to be able to utilize it for that initial blade that came out before we capped second point. But on the flip side, I do think that Monarchy is fine-tuning what they need to do to be able to counter this blade. We saw that Tokyo with the Tokyo and Leapfrog Nano Blade, it was a great combination and they won that fight. It looks like they are going to go in that same route with Leapfrog actually. Oh, just kidding. We always get jinxed on the cast here when we call out for attack, and once again I did. But I think that we were wanting to see some Widow play, and Tokyo is heading on the Widow. We will see if those shots land the head,
or if they miss, or they're not quite
if they
there.
find the head.
They got it. And before we get too far started into this next round, I do want to call out that the Lucio for Monarchy, his name is Kageyama, so he goes by Kage for short. So our apologies on that front. Try to keep off the cage aspect as much as we can. Yes. Oh, but Tokyo, we talked about that initial Widow duel, and he has opened up the match here, taking down Brutal One right out of the gate. So Monarchy is going to get aggressive, knowing that Storybook Villains is down a player. That turret doesn't even get taken down before too much rotation can be done. And wow, Monarchy still continuing to push forward here on this cart. Good positioning from the BAP, getting that high ground and keeping his team topped off with another kill coming in from Monarchy. Another one again. It is fantastic for them as they continue to push forward. This is a great initiation and time made so far, Traffic.
Yeah, what a great initiation coming in from that first pick onto Brutal One. Tokyo immediately changes to the Tracer, which I think is a great follow-up to start with that headshot, go with the mosquito poking around Tracer, and it is definitely working out for them right now. Looks like Owlet is trying to hold this Sid.
Yeah, he is. They are doing everything they can here on as Storybook Villains to try to prevent this from being touched or capped this first point. It is a great place to hold if they can manage it, but it doesn't look good for Storybook Villains. Monarchy getting the kills and capping the point that they need.
Yeah, 100%. And again, Monarchy is going on the flip side and waltzing this payload in with 5:10 and counting on the clock here. We have ults coming in favor of Monarchy as well, and not too much on the side of Storybook Villains. So I'm sure that they are trying to race that Nano Blade, and here it is. Blade is online, Nano's super close, and we just gotta bait out that Immortality field if Storybook Villains wants to hold this point at second point before they're able to cap second point.
And there it is. They are engaging here with Kirby Bro on the Blade with everything he's got, and take it. Wow, holy smokes, just mowed everyone down. Reset that.
Yeah, and Kirby Bro, once again, great target focus. Really, Kageyama was just about to get that beat, but he was taken down before he could even do it. On the flip side, we have a lot of ults coming in favor of Monarchy. I could definitely see Dark duping Cobalt once again. He's made a lot of space with that dupe coming in, and 2 Reinhardts, 2 Shatters. It could be really big for Monarchy.
Well, Reinhardt can build his ult potentially very quickly. We've seen some people get 2 dupes or 2 shatters as Reinhardt. You got to be really on fire for that, though. 1 minimum is usually very easy to accomplish. Kirby fell so low. He was like actually 6 health right there, and Brutal One does take down Stormgig as he's on that front. Right now, both teams kind of going back and forth, but Monarchy is pulling ahead a little bit. Well, I say that as Kageyama goes down, but Tokyo is putting in a massive amount of work. They've been doing really good this whole Rialto map in general, especially just as that DPS pressure that they need to be. Getting aggressive here as Dark is on that Duke. Doesn't quite charge up the grab that he needs. Doesn't matter. Casey throws their own grab there, catching a lot of people. Oh, doesn't find anyone there. I thought that Brutal One was going to catch that Tracer. No yield from the High Noon as well. Tokyo still peppering in this backline, and looks like Storybook Villains has a little bit of a numbers advantage. Well, actually still, yeah, putting in work there.
Oh no, Sid, there is a pause right now. We have somebody on the Storybook Villain side that just pressed the W key a little too hard. So they're going to take a quick pause here, grab that person back in, and get the game going. But wow, Sid, what a clash between the two teams here. You know, we were already expecting that Storybook Villain already needs to win this to be able to stand in the the rankings and contending rankings. But Monarchy is coming really pog, as they are just again waltzing this payload in like Monarchy did. We have almost similar amount of times on the clock as Storybook was in this phase, and you know, perks to Monarchy, because we potentially lost a null charge coming on the Storybook Villain side, which, you know, especially when we're talking about the Nano Blade, that's a very important factor for Storybook Villain sides, and losing that Nano could really mess up what their plans of attack are.
So I will say there is a little glimmer of hope on the Nano Blade front. Unfortunately, of course, there won't be a Nano available, but Blade is at 99%. So when she's brought back in, they will be relatively close in ultimate charge, and hopefully have enough time to still recharge it and bring us back, and don't just get snowballed right in through to the third point. But we are back into the game as we speak here. Echo Force does once again reset. There's going to be the Naked Blade. Like we talked about earlier, we've seen him get a lot of work done, but doesn't quite get as much as he needs to for this one. I bet a little bit confusion after that pause. Tokyo finding the kill onto Kirby Bro as well. Stormgig pushing forward. Everyone is trying to continue pushing this front line as Monarchy has an two-man advantage now. What a bubble to block that shatter. Absolutely nasty coming out from Casey there. Great support of his fellow tank member. And Tokyo has that bubble again, just pushing forward and continuing to put pressure onto Storybook Villains.
Yeah, 100%. They are pressing the W key, they're getting aggressive, and they're taking space exactly what they need to do. They also have the advantage of the mental game right now. We just had a player leave on the Storybook Villain side, which could be a little shuffle with the mentality or the mindset of, we lost the fight, we gotta get back into the groove. Whereas Monarchy already has that groove settled in. They have all 6 players. Stormgig is probably looking for a big shatter to capitalize, and Tokyo to follow up on it.
Yeah, they need to get a little bit of a wombo combo. There's a few people sitting on the ground, and Tokyo's there to follow up and follow up again. Both DPS hear their tank and see the victims that they have laid out in front of them, cleaning up Storybook Villains.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a great job at really focusing on those spawn doors. Again, Storybook Villains has that spawn advantage as we're coming in, and going with the ball on Cobalt, gonna spin to win, Sid.
Monarchy have a better time available. What a grab coming through, and Tokyo with the full spawn to follow up as well. That is a nasty combo you don't want to get stuck in. The Sound Berry did save a few people, but Monarchy is still getting kills in favor of themselves, bringing down the members of Storybook Villains as they continue to push this point forward. 2:30 left on the clock, and they are looking to try to beat Storybook Villains' time here. 2:20. So, you know, a little bit more, but all in all, really solid push by Monarchy. Very fast push by both teams.
100%. And yeah, we got to give credit where credit's due. Casey coming in clutch with that grab in the end there. We've seen him build up.
And the bubble to block the shatter.
And the bubble to block the shatter. Casey really coming in pog as the off tank for Monarchy. And just really great counter to Kirby's Nano Blade and Blades consistently. Utilizing that grab as the defensive ult to capitalize on that Blade. They already know full well what the value that Kirby is capable of, and so a grab is with the value that Kirby brings with his Nano Blade. A grab is very ideal to even utilize that as a counter if Kageyama isn't there. So props to Casey coming in, 100%.
I have to say, I'm really impressed with Monarchy's DPS and their ability to follow up on the
Hmm.
opportunities their tanks are creating. We see a lot of things being, moving and shaken from those two tanks of Stormgig and Casey, but the communication is obviously there, so their DPS can get the little sneeze kill that they need at the end on some of these other players. Hopefully, Storybook Villains is going to change it up a bit and try to break that defense that Monarchy had, but it's still anyone's game as we see these guys clash off a little bit earlier than before here around this first corner. Looks like they were more careful of that potential Widow pick. Much smarter and learned their lesson. Stormkid goes down though as the first person, and that is super tough for Monarchy to try to continue to hold after that. A couple more people going down from their team, and they're gonna have to back off and either regroup or soft regroup.
Yeah, 100%. Casey is high charge. I'm sure that he's trying to conserve that and stay alive to keep that charge. Soft regroup coming in. 52% to grab, as well as a 75 coming in for Shatter. Brawls are fighting out once again, Sid.
Forward here. They don't want to lose too much ground or space to Storybook Villains. The charge comes through though, removing Kageyama. Oh man, that is going to be devastating for Monarchy to lose their speed, but it doesn't look like it's affecting them nearly as much as I thought, because Tokyo here is here to clutch it out for his team and get those kills. And another kill to top it off, because, well, Kageyama will be back quick and will tow back Leapfrog.
Yeah, 100%. And, the whip does not have that beat that we really need desperately right now to stay alive in this game. 30 seconds on the clock and counting down as Stormer and Casey are ready to utilize our ults and capitalize to continue bringing this time down.
We're going to see a lot of flashing, shiny lights things getting thrown here. There's the high noon already popped by Brutal One. He finds 2 people, and the other DPS is following up with another 2 kills. Wow. Storybook Villains DPS line is putting in a massive amount of work. They are the only people in the kill feed, with shout out to the supports for the help and follow up.
100%. We have approached overtime officially. Storybook Villains cannot leave the payload, or else that is game, and that is, well, not game, but that is where they end their mark at. Monarchy is coming in full charge, waiting to meet them around this corner and pressing that W key to engage here. Grab comes out on the side in favor of Storybook, and Storybook is capitalizing on this, but B is pushed out from Kageyama, trying to save the team, trying to keep this alive, but Cobalt, it says no, and Storybook Villain is capitalizing on this, and kills coming in favor as they continue to push this payload to this next round, Sid, or this next checkpoint, Sid. Wow, what great target focus coming in from Storybook Villain's side.
Yeah, well, Monarchy needs to clear Storybook Villains off of the point either just long enough for overtime to run out, or team kill them, get them out of the picture. It only will take 1 clear for them to win this round or stop the cart's progress at this time. You can see them holding this high ground here. It is only the lone Wisp on the cart. He gets taken down so quickly, and OT trickles down just in the blink of an eye. Storybook Villains was not ready there to support their Lucio or follow up to touch the cart. Wow.
Man, a classic C9 instance.
OT, as you are on the cart, for clarity, if anyone is unsure, the longer you're on the cart, the faster OT trickles away when you're off of it. And they had been on it for a while. They probably should have had that awareness that it was going to be gone in literally a blink.
I mean, we gotta give props where props are due. Monarchy, they saw that only 1 person is on the cart. The rest of the Storybook Villains are trying to take advantage of that high ground. And instead of collapsing and brawling out on that high ground, they went straight to the cart. So great target focus coming in from Monarchy. And also good for the amount of time that we had. Again, props to Monarchy for burning that down. But as Storybook Villains got it to a good point to where that's a really contestable point. We have to. First point on Rialto is a little rough. It can be really rough for this corner. And so we will see if Storybook Villains are able to play that defensive. Like you said, defensive wins games. Defense wins games. So We
This
will
is where they're
see.
going to need to hold.
Mhm.
If they want to win Rialto here, it'll be easiest if they can hold them at the first point and not let
Mhm.
them do a similar steamroll snowball effect that they were able to do in the second phase of Rialto. So this first corner engagement here will be extremely important. You can see Tokyo already skirting around the back line, getting ready to dive and put the pressure on when necessary. There he is shooting. Oh, that Doomfist though, not sneaky as he is already scoped and spotted out. Good thing some of his abilities have been baited, but Stormkick is the first one to go down. Brutal one on that McCree, putting in the damage, and well, Monarchy is going to have to reset.
Yeah, definitely a reset coming in favor of Storybook villains. Great initiation and great target focus coming in, especially when you have that first blood being a main tank. It's almost like an automatic reset for the team. Tokyo is trying to do a little bit of hook damage here, but not quite getting in. But we have alls coming in favor of Storybook villain. I'm hoping that Kageyama really, or actually utilizes that defensive matrix from Leapfrog to protect the team coming up from this upcoming brawl. Oh, yes!
Coming through, it is completely blocked as well, but unfortunately Stormkick still goes down. The damage is there, and the Fire Strike just rips through the shield. Nothing blocks a Fire Strike except for Ant Matrix or the bullet from Super.
Wow, Echo Force saving Cobalt from that pulse with the Immortality Field. Big plays coming in. That would have been a really big opening for Monarchy to just continue on here. Props to Echo Force for that.
Yeah, and right now we are encountering the last 40 seconds here. Grab is thrown, and the Doomfist is jumping in as well. Looks like Dark does manage to pick off Kirby as we speak, but it is a crazy show here. The Amp Matrix comes through, the dupe onto the Bastion with another amplification matrix being popped. It is going to be tough to continue defending into this. There's the grab. The Wisp is going to try to keep everyone alive, but they are doing their best, and Monarchy looks like they're trying to almost cap this first point here on Rialto. Storybook Villains is not giving up easily though. There's another shatter coming through. Does manage to find a couple people as well. Kills coming in favor of Monarchy still though, and Kageyama gets that boop, which is huge. Overtime has been triggered, and Monarchy is going to have to stay on the point at all times.
And you know what? Kageyama is in the advantage of having his beat. We are going no ults coming for the side of Storybook villain size. Daiko does have a ult coming online if she's able to build that Gravenup, which could definitely be a winning fight, winning ult to win this fight. So we will see all up to Kageyama if he's able to save his team with that beat.
And well, we can see that they are coming up close here towards the end of it. Just a little bit left for them to go through. Oh, they get off the point? What? What? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I wonder if they got booped off the point by the Wisp or the Doomfist at the same time. That has got to be really tough mentally. I hope Monarchy can. They need to take a step and reset after that.
No, 100%. And we talked about it a little bit with Storybook villains. Some played a little lackadaisical with, knowing that how well they play together as a team, and I think that we saw that in first point, Sid, or first point. We saw the Torb in the end. We all know that we love to see those hammer kills, but maybe it wasn't the correct pick to be able to capitalize and be able to quickly take this time, because sometimes things happen, as we saw with the pause and disconnection, where things don't go as planned. We lose a player. It ends up being working in favor of the enemy team, and I think that's what happened right there. If it wasn't for that that last boop for Monarchy, it could have went to them. I gotta say, could have went to them.
They were playing really strong.
They were playing really well. I almost want to say that Nepal was a warm up for them, and they have their full A game and they're ready.
I would maybe agree with you there. I want their communication to just be a little bit more active. We saw them not be on the point, and I think that is partially a communication problem. You hear about how it's extremely important that you ensure at least one person is touching the point when it's that crucial. But I also want to call out on the side of Monarchy that I think they recognized who is a big threat from Storybook villains and are taking appropriate measures to
Hmm.
try to combat them. I've said it before, you can't always shut down other players, but you can contain them.
Yeah.
And I think Kirby Bro is being pretty well contained now. They've definitely identified him as someone who is a playmaker and initiating for Storybook villains.
Hmm.
We see him getting a lot of those like classically flashy DPS kills with those blades. And, of course, a lot of eyes are going to turn to shutting you down.
I know he makes it look so easy, and then when I go in game and try to do it, I just fall flat and just look like
Yeah.
I'm waving my sword everywhere.
I mean, sword, pool noodle, pasta noodle. I mean, that's really
Same
all it is for
thing.
me when I'm doing it. Yes. Well, I mean, there's always the joke of, oh, it's a super blade, right? From San Francisco Shock, where he just, gets the blade out and says, all right, I look scary. Don't come over here. And that's it.
You
And,
know,
zoning is definitely important in Overwatch.
I wish that I could be like, I got a super blade, but you're right, Sid. I think I have more of a pool noodle.
It's
When
not
I
that
try
scary
to,
when I do it.
I have one of those Nerf swords that kind of look like it, but it doesn't hurt at
I
all.
mean, is it a
It's
nerf? Is
safety.
it even a nerf sword, or is it like one of those like balloon swords?
I
So
mean, you
it's
could also
not.
balloon sword. Yeah, exactly. Or the blow up ones.
Yes.
That's me and Genji. Is
Perfect.
I don't have a real sword. I have a blow
Right.
up sword.
And it's important that you make sure Anna's sleep isn't ready or that you dodge it. Because
Yes.
I've been there on the front line a couple times. Like, okay, gonna switch off a Genji with some good practice.
But Sid, I'm pretty excited. We have a switcheroo with Dark and Dr. Tepper coming in. Dr. Tepper's on the McCree. I think that'll also be a good containment character with that flashbang of when Kirby Bro comes in, tries to build that blade to capitalize on it and also pill for the team. Kageyama is, nice headshot to initiate, but Kageyama also is on that prig to be able to hopefully contain Kirby Bro as well.
Yeah, I to see Kirby Bro contained a little bit more, just like you were talking about, but I don't know if they're ready for Brutal One on this Widowmaker here. Both teams are engaging on the point now. We can see Storybook villains pushing up this side as we speak. No kills coming through yet. Both teams poking at each other, breaking the shields down and trying to find that opportunity. That flashbang, I thought it was going to be it, but what an excellent fallback and follow-up from Storybook villains to keep their Reinhardt alive there. Oh, not sure that's exactly where that jump was supposed to go. But Tokyo gets first blood onto Brutal One, and now the kills are coming in for Monarchy as well. Tokyo's still just putting in work here, and well, there's Dr. Tepper making his debut here in this match onto Echo Force, getting that kill.
Yeah, and you know what? I would argue that the choices coming in from Monarchy to contain Kirby Bro and the Nanoblade is working out really well. No Nanoblade quite yet, but ult's coming in favor of Monarchy right now with a lots of zoning ults as well, which is always really great for defensive. Dr. Tepper, excuse me, is looking for a little bit of a cheeky high noon here, hoping to grab some people as they approach here and Brawl starts out.
Putting in pressure on the back line once again here, getting aggressive as that grab is thrown. Kageyama and the remaining members of Monarchy in the meantime are continuing to clean up members of Storybook Villain.
Hooey, and we still have quite a bit of ults coming in favor of Monarchy, but in the flip side, Storybook Villain is ready to bust those ults as well. We have a Nanoblade coming in, and we all know how successful and how valuable those are for Storybook Villain. As well as coming in. Not really any defensive balls. We used Rally last time around for Kageyama, so it's all up to Dr. Tepper. I apologize, Dr. Tepper, for keep saying Dr. Pepper. But here it is. B comes. We are initiating in Brawl here, Sid.
Oh, yeah, and there's the grab as well. Dr. Tepper using that high noon to take down Kirby Bro. The shatter comes through as well, and more members of Monarchy are going down. Dr. Tepper can't hold it down quite enough, but Tokyo getting the kill as well onto Echo Force. Still, we can see a strong presence of Storybook Villains on the point as they are trying to cap it here. It's going to be Monarchy touching the point and playing a little bit of a stall game here, but doesn't last long as Storybook Villains have capped the point and unlocked payload.
Man. Yeah, and it seems like though the target focus was for Kirby, Storybook Villains also proved that though Kirby is very valuable to our team, we can carry our own as well. As they cap that first point with 3:15 or 3:10 or 3:15 on the clock and counting. Brawls are already taking place on the high ground as Storybook Villains are trying to take that high ground away, which is a really smart move from that side, especially if they're able to set up their Ana up there.
You know, they definitely have the ultimate advantage at this time. Brutal One popping that high.
Oh,
huge! Absolutely savage as he follows up additionally on
wow,
the remaining members of the team. Okay.
5 people. You know what? We talked about Kirby all night, but Brutal One says, I'm here too, guys. I make the plays and I'm here. And I hear you, Brutal One. 100%. You are a clear threat and everybody should be watching for you. I cannot believe that, Sid. 5 kills on that McCree ult. Lots of ults coming in favor, though, of Monarchy coming here soon, so we will see how that's utilized here in the upcoming fight.
Maybe Star Villains can combat that enough, but Tokyo just leading the gates so aggressively here, taking down Echo Force. He does get taken down by Brutal One. Got a little greedy there against his his counter McCree, so a little surprising he went so aggressive there, but Stormgig pushing forward, avenging him on that front. Kirby Bro just peppering him, charging that ult.
Yeah, 100%. And lots of all economies coming in favor of Monarchy right now. We are really clearly seeing that they are trying to prove themselves that they are a team to be reckoned with. Still trying to take this high ground here as Stormgig does come up here. Highly charged Zarya. Potentially a really good grab here. Will we see the grab here? No! Censored! Wow!
Not a chance to grab when you're sitting on the ground after that shatter. Stormgig does pop the Primal Rage as well, and kills are coming in favor of Monarchy on that front. Wow, Dykopath did their best to try to hold that, but gets taken down in the meantime.
100%. We really still haven't seen Storybook Villains utilize this Nano Blade coming up. So I'm a little curious. They might be kind of staying clear, a little curious about all the hero choices that Monarchy has chosen to divert this and keep the team alive. And we have a Rally coming on board too. So it is all about saving the team right now with support, ult, or Dr. Tepper's flash ability. Here it is! We'll see if this is the case!
Yeah, Kirby instantly dives the back line there, does manage to find Leapfrog, but there are still 2 kills in favor, 3 kills in favor of Monarchy. I don't think it's going to be enough because the rest of Storybook Villains has gone down, regardless of anything that Kirby Bro can bring to the table. This has been a great match here by Monarchy, definitely making a stand and trying to say, we're not going down easily. We are here to continue this set against you.
100%. And Dr. Tepper, props to him for really containing Kirby. They were trying to be able to save this, and here we are reaching overtime, 15 seconds on the clock. Storybook Villains are still trying to take that high noon, and beat is popped in favor of Storybook Villains to be able to engage on this. Kirby is on the Tracer, trying to pepper some damage and pepper some plays, and here we are getting back onto that payload, payload, as we try to cap the second point in favor of Storybook Villains. I'm not sure if they will be able to do it, but no kills are coming in quite yet for both. High Noon, Dr. Tepper is looking, but no! Casey coming in, high charge, beaming everybody down, but Brutal One coming back in. It is such a play right here as the teams are just brawling on payload. Storybook Villains are trying to keep this fight alive to prove that they are the contending team, but Casey with Monarch is coming in as Monarchy does complete this round 1, denying Storybook Villains the second point on Blizzard World. Wow, Sid, what great plays coming in from Monarchy. Casey, you know, we got to talk about Casey and Dr. Tepper. They were playing so well. Casey was so charged, and I would argue that those 2 characters, a Zarya beam and a Flash beam, for, you know, Kirby, not a nice combo for him. You know, when you have that
too.
What'd you say?
Kageyama was on that brig too, and that
exactly.
Ooh.
It is a bit of a gnarly mix-up. I'm really enjoying. We potentially might have a reverse sweep on our hands right now, Sid. Potentially.
Say, on the side of Storybook Villains, we've been talking about Kirby Bro and his blades and the presence that he's really set during these games. And Monarchy has responded. And I think that Storybook Villains has done really well recognizing that.
Mhm.
And Kirby Bro has said, all right, Brutal, I'm going to bring him over here. I'm going to make him think that I'm a big threat. And you can have a heyday.
Yeah.
You click the heads, I'll make them think I'm way scarier. They already think I'm scary. And you take the spotlight over there on the
Yes,
DPS.
and we saw that. Hooey! So I'm excited to see the defense from Storybook Villains here. As you know, Kirby does his job, makes some chaos in the backline, and just give Brutal One the full space to be able to do what he does best and click those heads here.
Totally. If Monarchy can cap this first point, they could potentially snowball through to the second point if possible, if given the ample ultimate economy and opportunity. But we'll have to see. I want to see Monarchy try to take this into another match and reverse sweep this potentially here. But we'll have to see what they can bring to the table. Stormgig now is jumping in, and Tokyo had already drawn first blood as well onto Kirby Bro. What a nasty nade though from Echo Force, and kills are coming in for both teams as well. Monarchy looks like they are going to get that advantage, and they have a bunch of kills in their favor now, and are continuing to push the point and create a presence here. This is looking really solid as they continue to mow down members of Storybook Villains and cap this first point.
Oh man, Sid. Dr. Tepper and Tokyo are playing so well in sync together. Tokyo coming behind, causing some havoc for the supports in the backline. Great initial pick onto Anna. Especially when you have those main supports that are the main hill, it's really rough to come back from that. Especially when spawn advantage is you don't have the spawn advantage as a defensive team. 5 minutes on the clock and counting for Monarchy to get into that midpoint of before we hit second point. Not a whole lot of ults coming online, but we have a nano coming in favor of Monarchy. So I'm guessing that we will see a little bit of ult village, a little bit of cooldown trade to be able to build that and initiate those that ult fight coming here soon.
Just an absolutely nasty time bank for them to work with. The pin comes through, taking down the member of Monarchy there, Stormgig, and well, it is looking, well, they're still pushing the point though, so not too bad. They're gonna have to engage here, man down. Well, it's evened up. I spoke too soon and said, well, a whole bunch. Tokyo getting the pulse bomb, and Dr. Tepper with that high noon again, looking to continue clearing space, and well, nope, doesn't find any kills, but doesn't matter. Everyone from Storybook Villains is continuing to retreat back. There's the Earth Shatter coming through. They are sat down, and Monarchy is trying to stand back up and put up a fight here. The Nano comes through for the supercharged Casey, but Storybook Villains are getting the kills in their favor.
Oh man! I'm not fixing! Oh!
Holy smokes, these guys on Monarchy are doing fantastic there. I thought they had been cleared out, but I definitely spoke too soon as Casey here just hard.
God, what the grab? Oh, Casey coming in with another big grab, Sid. Wow. I call it at midpoint. I think we might be seeing a potential reverse sweep and a threatening team for Storybook Villains. Oh man, that was great. But here it is, Brutal 1-2. That was also a huge play of the game as well. Oh man,
literally 5 kills in that. They're so nasty. How do you even combat that? Once it starts rolling that way, there's nothing you can do.
Nope.
When he's on fire like that,
it's
even
not
when you
pretty
run
much.
Away, not fast enough.
Nope, because your head is already in his sight, and that bullet's already shot.
Well, and a lot of times he doesn't even need to click your head. His teammates have been there whittling you away, and he only needs to hit you in the ankle.
You know what? I would argue that Monarchy really found a little bit of a weak spot in a sense of, we know that there's a consistency with Nanoblade and that value that Kirby can bring. And they're really capitalizing on that. They are really taking advantage of the hero selection in Overwatch to really counter that, which is all you really, as a team, especially going up against with a contending team, we really want to play smart. And I would argue that Monarchy is really playing smart. I'm gonna say that, first match, warm up. Second match, close. Third match, we are ready. We are ready to prove to everybody that we are not a team to be reckoned with. We will win this right now. So we will see. It seems like there's a really great mental game coming in from Monarchy and Storybook Villains. I'm sure we definitely saw on that with Blizzard World that they are really, they recognize, ooh, this team is this team wants to prove themselves, and we got to play seriously as well. Because Storybook Villain also really started playing as a team, and we didn't see any Torb plays or some hammer potential hammer kills. So I'm pretty excited as we get to this next point in Temple of Anubis, how both teams will be able to defend and attack
Yeah.
for this, and what if we will see a little bit of hero changes from Storybook Villain side. We've seen a lot of the brawling comp along with the Nano Blade, so they might recognize that, like, oh no, they recognize what we've been playing, and we gotta adapt to the situation.
Yeah. And I think that Monarchy has done a really good job just managing their ult economy. We've seen them, at one point, we saw them have almost every single ultimate online. And when the fight was over, they still had 4 ultimates in their pockets. What a great sense of control to not press Q, especially when you're like, oh, it could be a good opportunity. A lot of times you and 2 or 3 other people with ults that could accomplish similar tasks or clear other players are also thinking that, and you all pop your ult at the same time. And it is great to see that they have that control. That probably also means that their communication and coordination are on point, especially when we saw them in the last map with Blizzard World. Just so devastating, and it's devastating holding that high ground too.
I'm also, especially with Storybook Villain, they had a fairly big time bank capping that first point on Blizzard's World, and props to Monarchy to be able to burn that down. But I'm hoping that I saw that they just continued going up on that high ground, with no success. So maybe coming into this next fight, if they do struggle at a point like that they change things up, maybe go a different route, or just adapt to the gameplay of what's happening. And if something's not working, let's change it up and see if something else will work.
Right. And it's important in Overwatch that you recognize that quickly and make the character changes or pathing or strategic changes that need to be done to, actually engage in a way that creates an advantage for your team to capitalize on. Hopefully we can see that here as Storybook Villains are pushing around this left side through this small room here and through this very small hallway. We have all been here on Anubis. It is rough to try to get through some of these chokes as pepper damage is coming through. Kills are exchanged for the teams, so could be anyone's game still, but Monarchy is pulling a little bit ahead on that front. Their defense is looking really strong as Winston jumps in, fending back the remaining members of Storybook Villains.
What a gnarly anti coming in from Leapfrog coming in there, as Monarchy just capitalizes on that and forces Storybook Villains to reset. Oh, I'm really hoping. Oh, it looks like Brutal One is going to go with the Widow route. I think that is a really good choice to open up some picks potentially. This is definitely a great initial attack on Widow. Especially since it's a fight of Dr. Tepper versus Widow now. So we will see if Brutal One is able to capitalize with the initial pick. Oh, huge Tokyo initial big pick on that. Did.
Absolutely nasty from Brutal One, opening up a great opportunity for his team to push this point here. With Tokyo gone, it'll only be a little bit before he gets back as one of the nimblest characters possible, but they are pushing onto the point here. Stormjig looking for that engagement that's very strong, pops the bubble late, and he's nanoed, so he is scary to go up against. Jumps right up into the bridge, totally great there, and kills coming in through for both teams. So Brutal One isn't getting a lot of pressure here on the back line. There goes the pulse bomb, but Brutal One is getting another kill in the meantime. Nothing yielding from the pulse bomb, but there's the other DPS for Storybook Villains. Once again, Kirby Bro finding a solid blade there, and Brutal One looking to continue putting pressure across this point on the high ground. No one looking at him. Dr. Tepper has changed over, though, to put pressure on him.
You know what? That was a great play coming in from Storybook Villains. We saw the initiation of the Nano Blade, and when you hear that You immediately hide and try to get out of sight and get away from the Genji, which really opened up space for Brutal One to just get those headshots, and that is exactly what they did. It's going to be a Widow dueling fight coming to the second point here, so we will see who gets the initial blood in the Widows.
Yeah, after your sound clip there of Genji's ultimate, I'd love to hear your Hanzo imitation one day. Really fantastic there. Thank you, Tropic. But right now, we have Storybook Villains Winston jumping in. He gets bashed right out of the gate, but he's got that ultimate. He's not scared because his health pool is about to get absolutely massive. He is anti though in the meantime and bashed for a second time. He doesn't go down because he is grouping everyone around, and Dr. Tepper gets a kill there onto Cobalt. Right now, Storybook Villains are pushing onto the point, but looks like it's going to be really tough for them because this spawn advantage for Monarchy is very, very tough to push into.
Yeah, 100%. It's just one of those 2 CP spawn advantages that just comes with the territory of an assault map. But here we are. We have quite a bit of ults coming in favor of both sides, but the really game-winning ults will be either that Nano Blade for the Storybook Villain side, maybe a combination with Daiko's grab as well. Or the defensive. Oh, but no, Brutal One gets that first pick, and it looks like Storybook Villains are gonna initiate on that, Sid.
Totally, that is the go button for Storybook Villains to push into this point here. Ooh, Brutal One gets a big angry monkey there in the face as he was trying to find any kills. Kirby Bro just putting in absolutely massive work there on the point as some of the DPS were duking it out on the edges. He had that nano, but Tokyo, what a beautiful stick onto the Wisp. Kirby Bro still getting kills though. The sleep comes in. What a sleep coming through from Echo Force there. Kageyama is antied and taken down after that. Storybook Villains is trying to continue capping this point here. They have 1 tick, not quite 2 yet, and they are still fighting that trickling battle of Monarchy coming in onto the point. Tokyo gets a pick from that, but Daikopath takes him down. Monarchy still has the massive spawn advantage and hasn't quite ticked in for 2 full ticks yet. This is pretty common for Anubis as we see a lot of trickling happen and people still continuing to do these fights. Monarchy now turning it around for themselves as Storybook Villains have been cleared out. Whew, Tropic went back and forth a little bit there.
Definitely. Great. I gotta give it props to Monarchy, especially with these last points when we are capping, we are getting to that point in these assault maps. It is all about the stall game in the end there, and they played a great stall game to keep it alive, minimize as much capping on the Storybook Villains as they can, where they did not allow Storybook Villains to capitalize on that second point, which could be a break here, depending on how things go out. But we have ults coming again. We've seen Kirby with that blade, and that is going to be again that winning potential fight. Cobalt will definitely make that space, and I'm sure that Brutal One will try to capitalize on that to get the initial tick that we need, Sid.
Right now, the Lucio onto the brig there. We can see Storybook Villains popping that rally, looking to engage here around this left side. They need 2 more ticks to capture the second point here, but the May wall is blocking a lot of people here, but Brutal One and the remaining members of Storybook Villains putting in work to get the kills they need, and they are coming in quickly. This is looking good if they want to try to cap this point, but they need to continue working quickly and focusing fire. There it is. They do manage to cap it there. Only 44 seconds left, but both points capped nonetheless.
Wow, Storybook Villains played that beautifully, coming in with the initial shields of the rally, staying safe in that room, and then once that was done, once everybody had shields, Kirby goes in for the kills. We know that he's able to get those 3, 4, 5 kills that they need to be able to capitalize, and that is extremely important because Monarchy has the spawn advantage. They're able to, if we allow some people to live and maybe back up to spawn, that is where the trickling game begins and the stall game begins. Excuse me, not trickling, stall game is what I meant. And Storybook Villains capitalize, knowing that they have to get a team wipe. They have to get that team wipe to be able to capitalize cap the point. Excuse me. And they did exactly that. So beautiful play coming in from the Wisp, really setting them up and enabling the team for success.
does need to win this map if they want to continue staying in this fight against Storybook Villains to, potentially win this set against them. It is first to 3, so Storybook Villains only needs one more map win to end it all here for themselves this evening and, really ensure that they are where they belong at the top up there with Council of Anime Girls.
100%. This is where it comes into play. Will we see the reverse sweep? Or will we see the win right here from Storybook Villains?
That's right, and not too sneaky there on the top. They are spotted quite quickly. That's probably very good for Monarchy to know what they're trying to get push into. Not as many surprises, but still plenty enough coming in from Brutal One as Tokyo is the first person going down to Storybook Villains. This is a tough first push now to go into, losing what a key DPS player Tokyo has been, especially providing that annoying damage on the backline.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like both teams are just trading cooldowns, trying to find a place and make space for either an initiation or that first blood to pounce on. Oh, whoa! Whoa! Brutal One!
Tokyo got a little complacent there. Did not move around at all, really, when they were firing at the Wisp, and just out of nowhere, well, we saw him there, but Brutal One takes him down very quickly. Dr. Tepper does TP forward with that Zarya bubble, and Kirby Bro has been taken down as well. So Monarchy is going to have the player advantage here as Tokyo is already back in the game and getting kills, trying to make up for that little mistake there. Leapfrog just continuing to put in work for his team here as they are just, you can see they're antied and critical. Stressful times. If you're a support player, you're extremely familiar with that.
Yes, when you're like, oh, I can't heal you, I'm trying. You're at 10 health. Hopefully nobody tickles you.
You're antied.
But I think this is gonna set up a beautiful story of a snowball effect right here. We will see if that's the case here. Playing a little bit of patience here, but they have that nano. We've seen them nano that Winston, and Nano Winston is really scary and can do a lot of damage. And here it is. Initiation happens.
Yeah, and fights breaking out onto the point as we speak. We can see Stormgig popping that, he pops the Primal and maybe boots Brutal One high enough to get a better high noon. Not sure about that type of decision there. Dr. Tepper does have his Death Blossom, but decides to save it, which I think is very smart by Monarchy.
Yeah, not positive on Stormgig's Primal with Brutal One's high noon. But we still have plenty of time. The time being here, and we have some ults coming online here. We have a grab. Casey, he has built up those grabs very quickly and has 2 DPS to combo here. So that grab alone, if it is a big grab and the team is able to capitalize on that, that can be the point right there. So it's all up to them.
Totally, yeah, it is. And, Kirby and Brutal One's ultimates are not online at this time, so those are some big playmaker ultimates we had been seeing a lot of work done with in our previous matches. There's the grab coming through from Monarchy. Storybook Villains gets caught in it, and a few of them go down. Dr. Tepper, he is low and gets mowed down as well, with Kirby finishing up the remainder of the kill.
Oh man, I gotta say, Storybook Villains is doing a great job right now at just really picking out those players that are maybe not in the best positions and killing them before. Casey grabbed, got a decent amount of people, but it didn't seem like there was enough follow-up that we really need to see. Dr. Tepper still has that Blossom, which could be a big play, but we gotta set it up a little bit, whether it be Stormgig coming in with the, Primal and making enough space for it to happen, or maybe we see a Beyblade with Nano going onto that Reaper, and maybe that is powerful enough to take that fight. But we are seeing some great defense coming in from Storybook Villains side.
Yeah, and here has switched off of the Tracer in favor of the Genji, so a more mobile offense and potentially, some of those big play opportunities from that Blade that we have been seeing from Storybook Villains. Brutal One has popped his ultimate, and while he is taking a lot of focus away from Kirby Bro just, goes haywire with it.
You know what patience Brutal One has to wait for that Winston to hop on him and then just dead-eye him. Beautiful Deadeye coming in from Brutal One. I would argue that that's one of the harder games or harder ults to really capitalize on. So great job. Seen great plays from all night. Dr. Tepper, we have a potential Nano Blossom coming up. That could be a make or break play coming in here, as well as the defensive wall coming in from Kageyama. So we have some ults to play this. We still have plenty of time with the time bank. So if Monarchy plays conservatively, methodically, they can definitely capitalize here. They definitely have the ult to be able to get a team kill and team wipe to be able to cap this.
Has had his blade for a little bit of, I mean, his Death Blossom for a bit of time, more than I would have expected for him to hold it, but there he is. The rally comes through as well from Kageyama, so everyone is going to feel nice and beefy there after that. The grab is thrown, but I don't see anyone caught in it as Dr. Tepper is continuing to shotgun people in the faces, Reaper, as they always do. There's the Death Blossom finding 2 people. The sleep comes through from Echo Force, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He is able to fade away, and well, he is. Oh, the high noon from Brutal One. Doesn't matter. Great clearing coming out from him. And gets one. Dr. Tepper jumps out in front a little bit too early and gets taken down from that. There's Tokyo with a blade coming through, trying to really clutch it out. But Storybook Villains is not giving up easily on that front. There is only a little bit left that needs to be capped, but Monarchy only has 1 minute to regroup and leave it here all on Anubis to try to cap this and go for that reverse sweep.
Oh man, and Story Villains are set up for success right now. They have quite a bit of ults. The only one they don't have is Brutal One, which was very patient and waited and capitalized on Dr. Tepper. We have a change in from the McCree onwards. Looks like they're trying to initiate with this initial pick with Stormgig. And it is just a matter of how they're going to play this defensive game against all these ults. I'm sure that they know that's where the Villains has.
Yeah, they decided to do a really full regroup here and go for this last solid push into the point area. You can see the fights are breaking out in both areas, and Bro is just absolutely decimating Monarchy right now, and I'm basically shutting down a lot of hope they have for this push. There's only 14 seconds left, Tropic. I don't think there's anyone left to touch the point from Monarchy or even contest and make it for OT. Storybook Villains has pushed out so far, and the stuns are coming through. Can he touch a stall for OT? He gets there, but he's taken down quickly just before, and Kageyama does manage to touch in the end, but Storybook Villains are there. They are following up. They have backtracked to make sure that nobody else is staying on the point. Poor Tokyo is doing his best to try to continue to keep overtime from trickling down, but Storybook Villains manages to win it and continue their, very high ranking seed and warrant their high ranking.
Oh man, that I gotta give it to props to Storybook Villain. This is a game to showcase that they are still the contending team and the team to be reckoned with, and they very much are. Their target focus, their ability to bait out ults from the Monarch side, and just really play that spawn advantage that these assault maps have, played out beautifully, especially with the conserving their ults in the end there. They realized that, especially when we're in last fight territory for these assault maps, that it is a make or break time. We have to have ults ready. We have to have mostly defense ults, especially on the defending side, because if you get a team wipe, if you don't get enough players to get on that point, especially when Monarchy was just needed that third tick, that's game. Especially in an assault map like that, it could go by very quickly. So congratulations, Storybook Villains, on your map or your match win. And just great Overwatch overall. Monarchy, Sid. Though they were not the winning team tonight, they definitely showcase that they are a team to be reckoned with, especially against one of these contending teams.
Yes. And it is nice to see that they have basically reaffirmed their claim and some of the other people's power ranking claims of putting them towards the top or at the top. So good quality Overwatch there. I really like how their DPS coordinate as far as drawing attention away from the other DPS to really put in a massive amount of work. And then people having to decide, it is a tough decision. Do you focus on the McCree, who is getting headshots and gonna pop his high noon, or the Genji popping the blade in the back line on the other side? and that is a rock and a hard place if I've ever heard of one. But but Monarchy here, they did phenomenal going up against, one of these higher ranking teams, and I think that they performed outstanding. I thought,
Yes.
honestly, I
Cool,
think
man.
we could have gone another map if Rialto had played out a little bit differently and we didn't see the C9 stuff happening. But all in all, really solid there. I thought we were going to be getting that
Oh,
reverse
I
sweep.
was dragged.
I know. So props to Casey.
What's up?
Props
I
to
was dragged.
Leapfrog. Props to supports. Just great play overall, just tonight. Especially from both sides. But Monarchy really had a great. They really put in a fight in, and that is all the Overwatch we love to see. But folks, grab some snacks really quick. Take a quick break. We have a Brutal One coming into interview. Give it a little bit of insight from what was going on to hit in his head, the whole team's heads, all that jazz. So we'll be right back. Grab a snack, use the restroom, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again.
Everyone, what's up, and welcome back to our evening of Owlet here. We just saw a fantastic matchup of Storybook Villains against Monarchy, and we actually have one of the DPS players from the victorious team of Storybook Villains here for an interview. So, Brutal One, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Your McCree was absolutely nutty between the very common double, triple kill that you were getting on some of these people and the very nasty 5-man kill you had. What are some of the things that, you guys were mentally prepping for going into this match?
The only thing we mentally prep for is we have a match at this date and time. That's really about it.
All right. Well, did you know anything about Monarchy going in or what you might need to expect?
No, I didn't know who we were facing until about an hour and a half ago. So no,
Oh,
I had
okay.
no idea.
Well, that is an absolutely great performance by you guys as far as, your coordination and the way you guys complement each other as a team.
Yeah, 100%. I am a little curious. How long have you guys played as a team together? Because it seems like that coordination, I would only assume like the ult calling, just really on point, especially for some of those like, oh no, a little bit of nail biting, especially on Blizzard World when Monarchy did win that. Um, how long have you guys been as a team? And
The six of us have been together since like 3 days before Owlet signups.
oh, okay,
We didn't even trial Daiko. Daiko's just a friend of Cobalt's.
awesome. Okay.
However, we all sort of knew each other. I formerly coached RTC and Cobalt,
Oh
and
wow.
now,
Okay.
and then through like time, we've all played on like teams together at one point or another.
Oh,
Nice.
sick. So you guys
So
have
it's never
some
been
history.
this, yeah, it's never been this full lineup, but we all have experience with each other.
Awesome. And especially in Overwatch teams, that synergy is what you're looking for. Just in general. And you guys really performed and had that. Speaking of which, for some of those fights that Monarchy was coming in and trying to turn the tables around, how did you guys counter that? And what was your mentality of did you stay calm and just regroup, refocus, go in hard, or what were your thoughts running in your head?
Well, maps one and whichever one Blizzard World wasn't, map one, we were like, all right, this is like every other match.
Yeah, one and two.
Um, Map two, Toki sort of hard carried,
Mhm.
so and we were like, okay, so we just shut down Toki and we win this pretty free, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Monarchy also was targeting Kirby a little bit harder and just opened up the space for you, Brutal, to just come in and click the heads.
No, Kirby did way more than I did that set. Like, gonna be honest.
You
Yeah,
know,
he ooh,
we saw a lot of really solid synergy from you guys, and it blew us away that you were able to pull the attention needed or just what is it, capitalize on attention being drawn away from you. And I think that you were personally a little bit underestimated here and there. So, like, personally, what are you guys doing here to try to go into this season strong and maybe going up against Council of Anime Girls sometime soon?
Um, well, we don't scrim at all. We were just like, we got together like as a group of friends. We're like, yo, let's play this tournament because we happen to be all eligible. And that's about
yeah.
it. We don't scrim. Cobalt doesn't play the game outside of these matches, so yeah, that's about it.
Dang,
Oh
that is
man,
a little nutty.
that is so crazy. But man, I guess the power of friendship, you guys are succeeding as a top contender team in Owlet season 3.9. But as we wrap up things here, Brutal One, is there anyone in particular or multiple people that you want to give a shout out to after this winning match before we let you celebrate with the team?
Obviously, a shout out to everyone in the Storybook Overwatch Discord. You are cool, and if no one saw the Nepal map and what Kirby did, go watch it. It was hype.
Definitely. But thank you again, Brutal One. Have a fun time right now celebrating with the team, and we're very really excited to see more of y'all play in Owlet Season 3.9.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
And with that, folks, we are wrapping up week 3 of Owlet with our final match with Monarchy versus Storybook Villains. Don't forget, we have week 4 coming on Friday and Saturday with a plethora of games lined up. And if you don't want to miss any exciting Overwatch like we had tonight, make sure to check those out. Make sure to follow Owlet Tournament on Twitch right below. Follow that like button, as well as our Discord. Information is below as well. But as always, it is a pleasure to be casting with Owlet Season 3.9. Joey, props to Joey. Woohoo, best producer. And of course, my lovely casting duo, Waffles for Sid. But for that, we're going to wrap things up here, folks. And we hope to see you coming this weekend on Friday and Sunday games. And we will see you then. Y'all have a great night and see ya.